In the Holy Land of ancient Jerusalem, a man named Jesus appeared with a divine mission to spread love, mercy, and the teachings of God. His powerful teachings and the miraculous miracles he performed attracted thousands of people from all over to listen and study. However, Jesus' prominence not only brought light of hope, but also caused concern for the religious and political leaders of the time. They felt their positions and power were shaken by the truths Jesus openly conveyed. It was fear and jealousy that made them plot to eliminate Jesus, seeing him as a threat that needed to be eliminated. The opening story not only depicts a character of great influence, but also reveals the fierce conflict between the light of faith and the Baracaster, darkness of human power and selfishness. In the quiet darkness of the night, in the Garden of Gethsemane, a tragic chapter of human history was written. Judas, one of Jesus' 12 closest disciples, is torn by fear and doubt, and agrees to betray his master in exchange for 30 pieces of silver. With an embrace, a symbol of loyalty, Judas turns that sacred gesture into a signal to the soldiers who to arrest. Jesus is brought before the high priest, where he faces false accusations and false witnesses. Although completely innocent, Jesus is seen as a danger that must be eliminated. His leaders take him to the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate, hoping he will order his execution. Although Pilate finds no fault in Jesus, pressure from the crowd, stirred up by the religious leaders, forces him to give in. The tragedy that began with a false embrace ends with the silence of justice. Caught up in the rage of the crowd and the fear of chaos, Pontius Pilate, despite knowing full well that Jesus is innocent, washes his hands of justice, allowing the execution to take place. The Roman soldiers not only executed him, but also mocked him cruelly. They dressed him in a purple robe, a false symbol of royalty, and placed a crown of sharp thorns on his head instead of a crown. They mocked him, calling him King of the Jews in a cruel way. Jesus was forced to carry the heavy cross through the streets of Jerusalem to Golgotha, the place called the Skull Hill. It was a journey of pain, but also a journey of supreme sacrifice. At the top of the hill, they nailed his hands and feet to wood, raising the cross between heaven and earth. In the midst of extreme physical pain, Jesus still prayed to God to forgive his persecutors, the ultimate testament to his boundless mercy. In the middle of the hot afternoon, Jesus hung on the cross, his blood dripping drop by drop under the scorching sun. His mother, Mary, along with a few faithful people, stood below watching him with heartbroken eyes. The groans of his loved ones echoed in the deadly silence. After hours of torture, Jesus uttered his final words, "It is finished," and breathed his last. When he died, the sky darkened, and the earth shook as if nature itself bowed its head in mourning for the Son of God. Jesus' followers took his body down from the cross, wrapped it in a shroud, and placed it in a newly carved tomb. A large stone was rolled across the entrance, and guards stood guard to prevent anyone from approaching. Jesus' death was not just the end of one life, but the beginning of a more glorious chapter in human history. 3 days after his death, at dawn, faithful women visited the tomb and discovered a strange thing. The large stone had been rolled away, and the tomb was empty. In their horror, an angel appeared, making a history-shattering announcement. "He is not here. He has risen." News of Jesus' resurrection spread quickly. He appeared to his disciples and many others, demonstrating that death could not hold back the power of the Son of God. His resurrection was not only a testament to his divinity, but also a beacon of hope for all humanity that death is not the end, but only the door to eternal life. Before his ascension, Jesus commanded his disciples to bring the light of love, forgiveness, and faith to every corner of the world. Finally, he ascended to heaven, but promise remained that he would always be present in the hearts of those who believe and love.